This log is a reflection from my coaching conversation I just had with a young, beautiful girl. And for all of you who have shared your stories of struggle with breakups and the difficulty in trying to move on, this one is for you. And if you're trying to move from someone right now, let me ask you something. How many times have you replayed the relationship in your head in the last couple of days? The conversations, the mistakes, the things you wish you had said, the things you wish they had done, the beginning, the ending, the day it all started changing. And perhaps the question underneath all of it, what could I have done differently? See, heartbreak does something strange to all of us. It initially turns us into detectives. We go looking for answers, searching old messages, replaying memories, revisiting conversations, looking for that one clue that might finally explain why it didn't work. And when we don't find the answer, many of us do something even harsher, which is we make it about ourselves. Maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe I loved too much. Maybe I loved too little. Maybe if I had changed, they would have stayed. What all? Judgments on ourselves. But heartbreak is rarely that simple. Relationships don't end because one person is entirely right and the other is entirely wrong. Sometimes people simply stop being able to build a future together. And that hurts. Not because it proves you weren't enough, but because it asks you to let go of something you cared about. And then comes the second stage after being a detective. Long enough. The courtroom drama. This is the second stage where we play prosecutors. Sometimes we call a friend to play this role too. We get busy building a case, collecting evidence, revisiting every disagreement, every disappointment, every broken promise, trying to figure out who should carry the blame. The problem is that even when the trial ends, the pain often remains the same. Because underneath the blame sits something much deeper. It's grief. And I don't think we are always grieving the person. Sometimes we're grieving what disappeared with them leaving. The future we imagined, the plans we made, the version of life we thought we were building. And very often, the version of ourselves that existed when they were there. The version that felt chosen, wanted, seen, hopeful, excited about what was next. And when the relationship ends, it can feel as though that version disappears too. And that is incredibly hard to let go of. Not because you're still in love. Probably not. Probably yes. Who knows? Not judging here. But it's also not because you don't understand that it's over. But because part of you is still holding on to a future that never got the chance to happen. A future that remains perfect in your imagination because reality never had the opportunity to test it. And then the final stage is that stage of going in loops. The remembering, the missing, the anger, the relief, the guilt of feeling relieved. The mind keeps circling in the same story, hoping that one more pass will somehow create peace. But peace rarely arrives through repetition. It arrives through acceptance. Not acceptance that the ending was fair, nor the acceptance that it didn't matter, but simply acceptance that it happened, and it mattered, and it hurt, and life still is moving on. Whether you're carrying the pain, life is still moving on. And then one of the first signs of healing is when we stop asking, why did this happen? And begin asking, okay, what now? Because your life is still here, waiting. Not when you're done grieving, not when you've figured everything out, but now. And here are the few questions I want to leave you with today. Try and answer them when you get time. Question 1. What did you give up to make this relationship work for so long? What have you given up since it ended? And if you wanted to feel like a stronger, happier, more alive version of yourself 6 months from now, what would you start doing today? Because maybe moving on isn't about forgetting them. Maybe it's about remembering you